Welcome to the NAIOP Southern Nevada September Breakfast Program. My name is Cassie Catania Sue, and I am your 2024 Chapter President. For all of you, thank you. I was just going to have you help me rally the troops. Thank you. For all of you that are here in the room, you'll find notepads at your table. So during the program, if you have any questions, please write them down on the pad, and Tetland and anybody else from the programs committee will come around and collect them for the wrap-up that will start at 9 a.m. Today, we have some very special guests in the audience. I'd like to recognize our elected officials in attendance today. Please stand to be recognized. City of North Las Vegas Councilman Chuchiro. Thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize all of the UNLV students in attendance today. I love our partnership with UNLV. So if you are a current UNLV student, please stand. Thank you. You can stay, yeah, or you can come up. We'll introduce Owen here in a minute. The panel is so excited today to share that they're ready to go. We are just a few short weeks away from NAIOP's National CRE Converge Conference. There are nearly 1,400 people registered, 72 from Las Vegas and 21 from Reno. So we are just shy of our goal of 100. It is not too late to register. The information is here. We do get a special price since we are the host chapter this year. So please think about it if you haven't already registered. We are just shy of the goal, but I think we can get there. It will be a great program, great tours, and great panels put together. Now I'd like to take a moment to honor our President's Circle sponsors. They are a critical component to the chapter's success. This year we have 4 platinum sponsors. Special thank you to each one. Cox Business has supported our chapter for 21 years. Gatsky Commercial Real Estate since 2022. Martin Harris Construction since 2001. And Schnitzer Properties since 2000. Thank you. Now I'd also like to thank our gold sponsors, Howard Hughes, Kimley Horn and Associates, Majestic Realty Company, Nevada General Construction, Panatone Development Company, Prologis, and Southern Nevada Water Authority. Thank you. Now please take a moment to look at the screen as we recognize our silver sponsors, our bronze sponsors, and our copper level sponsors. Thank you. I can't believe it, but it is almost the end of the third quarter, so do watch your inbox as our 2025 President's Circle sponsorship information will be out soon. If you have any questions, you can either contact myself, Lisa Brady, or Katrina or Jonna for more information. And now on to our committee announcements. NAIOP runs because of the high quality of the organization's committees, and we could not do it with all of the help of the great members that help push all of our programs and all of our events along. I'll turn it over to Morgan.
Morning, everyone. Morgan Elson with Colliers on the bus tour committee. Our 2024 bus tour is approaching here November 14th. We're busy planning the event. It's going to be NAIOPoly, so Monopoly theme this year. We're very excited for it. It's a half-day event here at the Orleans, and we hope to see you guys all there. Sponsorship opportunities are still available. If you have any questions or you would like to become a sponsor, please contact Sebastian Torres or Jonna Savage. We're looking forward to seeing you guys all there. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Deshawn Brunswick with SVN The Equity Group.
And I'm Megan McInerney with Colliers International, and we're here on behalf of the Community Service Committee.
Okay. First of all, we want to thank you for your incredible support during our summer school supply drive for Hollingsworth STEAM Academy. With your generosity, we were able to donate over 15,000 supplies, raise about $5,700, and also read to 40 classrooms. The event was a huge success, and the handwritten note cards that we received from the students was priceless.
All right, guys, we have a fun event that we're going to be announcing. So for the past 10 years or so, the Community Service Committee has partnered with communities and schools for a Thanksgiving meal basket and delivery service where we work with a local school in need and adopt families and provide groceries for the entire month of December and for their Thanksgiving meals. And so this year, Communities and Schools has identified Walter Long Elementary School as the school that we're going to support, and we're going to be supporting 40 families. So if you look on the screen, I know it's pretty small, but you can kind of see how the events evolved over the years. And it's one of those events that we do so much work all year long, and then to actually see the impact that we're having with these families is really amazing. And so this year we've opened it up to the entire membership to participate based on some feedback that we've received and people wanting to get involved. And so we are going to have lists that you guys are going to be able to sign up for, and this will purchase the groceries to support a family of 4. So there'll be more details coming around in your inbox shortly, but you can find Deshawn or myself after the breakfast to sign up for that. So hope a lot of you want to get involved because it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Did I cover everything?
Hi, I'm Jen Levine, an industrial broker at Realcom Advisors, and I've got a pop quiz for you. What do the following have in common? 13 board members, 6 chapter presidents, 3 of those who have won national awards for presidency, and maybe one more president coming as another president-elect, 2 national corporate board members, 56 Spotlight Award winners, 11 national NAIOP award winners, and 1 marriage. What do they have in common? DLI! Yes, we've got a new class starting in 2025, and we're looking for our last few sponsorships, which keeps this program going. So if you want to support the future leadership in this organization, then please donate. And as a challenge to all you alumni out there, the class of 2009, also known as the best class, has
you
pulled
wish.
together, and we are, as the class of 2009, the newest sponsor of this program. So alumni, where you at? We got a few sponsorships left.
Good morning. I'm Guy Gugino with MidFirst Bank. I'm here with the Golf Committee. Save the date for our 33rd annual golf tournament. It'll be Friday, May 16th, 2025 at Paiute Golf Course. Sponsorships will be available in October.
Good morning, everybody. Gaetana Kapasa with Burke Construction on behalf of the NAIOP Spotlight Awards. So save the date. It is Saturday, March 1st at Red Rock. Think of it as NAIOP Nights is tropical air with a little bit, tropical air and a little bit of desert flair. So get ready for that. We do have sponsorships coming out next week, and intent to enters for both project and industry are out and available until October 14th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Ryan Holden with the Concord Group, representing the membership committee. If you're a new member, come to the new member coffee and learn how to get involved and meet our committee chairs. I'm on the membership committee and also the events committee. Register to attend Wednesday, October 2nd at 8 a.m. at the Narrative. So that October 2nd, 8 a.m., the Narrative. Coming up December, our members-only holiday lunch will be on Friday, December 13th at the Four Seasons. Very nice. Watch for more information. We'll have a $500 and a $1,000 sponsorship available to members, so inquire within. And then lastly, we have NAIOP. It's our time of the year where we do our 15 for 12 sponsorship. So if you join after October 1st, you get the fourth quarter for free as part of your membership for 2025. That's how I joined last year. It's a great value. I suggest you sign up. If you want to sign up now, you just have to take a paper application, and then we'll process it on the 1st. Don't do your application online until the 1st. So if you want to sign up, see anybody that has a membership committee badge, or go to the front desk and sign up for 15 for 12. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all the committee chairs for your announcements. And Jen Levine, I will do a sponsorship for DLI. So if there's anyone else, let me know. And anyone else from the best class ever, class of 2018. We have a few more sponsorships. Each month, we do like to recognize our new members. If you are a new member, please stand and welcome to NAIOP. Yay, welcome. Welcome. And as Ryan just mentioned, we are starting our fall membership push. So October 1st is a 15 for 12. So if you are not a member in the room, I see you. I will find you. You should join now. And yes, don't go online though until October 1st. But if you would like to join today after the breakfast, Jonna, Katrina, or myself can take your information and get back to you in order to qualify for the 15 for 12. But definitely feel like there's great value in a membership and would love to have you join and happy to talk to anybody about the value of membership. All right. I think we're moving right along here. So every month we've been recognizing members that stand out for different various reasons, but this month in anticipation of the upcoming NAIOP CRE Converge Conference, I did want to take a moment to recognize the NAIOP National Planning Committee. So if your name is on the screen, please stand to be recognized. Apparently they're not here this morning because they're too busy planning all the tours and panels. But it has been a lot of work, but it's been very fulfilling. We're very excited. Again, we put together some great panels and programs and tours for the upcoming CRE Converge Conference on October 7th through 10th, right here in Las Vegas at Caesars. And so I would like to take a moment. It has been a lot of work, and all of us have really reached out and leveraged our relationships in the industry to bring value. There'll be panels on retail, mixed use, financing, office, industrial, retail. So it'll be a great time, and I hope to see most of you there, hopefully 100 of you there. So a few more of you hopefully will get registered this week. And now I'd like to just take a moment to recognize our 2024 breakfast meeting sponsors. Thank you very much. American Nevada Realty, Carpenter Sellers Gatto Architects, Cox Business, Gatsky Commercial Real Estate, Martin Harris Construction, McCarthy Building Companies, NV Energy, R&O Construction, Southern Nevada Water Authority, Southland Industries, and our breakfast Wi-Fi sponsor, Schnitzer Properties. Thank you. And a special thank you that leads me into today's breakfast program sponsor, Carpenter Sellers Gatto Architect. So I would like to introduce Michelle Brajato to come to the stage, principal at Carpenter Sellers Gatto Architect. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So before I start talking about our firm, I wanted to take a moment to think about a year that was very important to me. That was 2017. It's the year that I relocated to Las Vegas from California, and I met my now amazing partners, Mike Delgado and Rick Sellers, that with time became my partners, right? But what I was looking back then, and that I'm striving for today too, is to be at a firm that's really committed to design excellence, to improving the community, and to giving back. And that alignment was right then, and it's still today. And it's what our firm has been doing for the past 37 years here locally in Las Vegas. For those who don't know us, we are a full-service architecture and interior design firm. Our portfolio is very diverse. It expands from public sector and private sector work. It encompasses commercial, educational, office, retail, renovations, healthcare, and more, industrial as well. And a few of our notable projects are for UNLV, Hospitality Hall. We've been the architects for Zappos headquarters. We are architects for Nevada Health and Bioscience Institute. Many, many different projects that certainly impacted the community. And I don't want to leave the stage today without thanking this room for all of the opportunities and partnerships that we forged throughout the years. We look forward to many of those. Enjoy breakfast.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your continued support over the years, and congrats on all of your Spotlight Awards over the years as well. Bless you. And speaking of 2017, as we kick off the program today, Tutland, look how good I'm doing on time right now. Are you so proud of me? And you know what? It's my second to last breakfast, so Matt Hoyt has to start all over in 2 times, so good luck, Matt. So as we kick off the program, and speaking of 2017, I have the distinct pleasure and honor today of introducing a dear friend of mine who I also met in 2017, Mr. Owen Sherwood, who is today's moderator for the panel. Come on up, Owen, as I talk all about you, and hopefully you'll blush. But Owen has built an impressive portfolio in the commercial title industry. He is the Vice President of Commercial Sales at Fidelity National Title Commercial Real Estate Services here in Las Vegas. And as I mentioned, he started in 2017 and yet joined the DLI program in 2018, part of the best class ever. And we have been dear friends ever since, and I have really enjoyed watching your career as you joined the industry really not that long ago compared to some of us in the room. And it's just been really amazing to watch you grow and learn and really get invested into the industry and the relationships that you've built over these years. Super proud of you. You are definitely astute and sharp. And the biggest thing I think that makes you so special is just your commitment to helping not only NAIOP, but the industry and the community, and really just staying true to yourself and being honest and really, putting your best foot forward every day to try to make deals happen for all of us, because that's what makes this whole room move. And you were born, though, if people don't know, in Boulder, Colorado, but he has been a lifelong resident of Las Vegas, attended UNLV, where he has a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science, and he was a lobbyist, right, for some time. So that is why he can probably work a room better than most. But, again, honored to call you a dear friend. Thank you for doing this for me this week in your second panel. You're really getting out there. And it's really been a great, like I said, to watch your career and love your wife, Josie, and your son, River. So congratulations on a great career. And thank you for moderating today's panel. I hope you really get some good juice out of these guys. Thank you.
Hey. Thank you. Well, now you guys know a little something about me, and it's funny because I used to be a lobbyist, and one of my mentors who Richard Churchio in the room knows, Jim Spinello, always used to say, don't tell my mom I'm a lobbyist. She thinks I play piano in a brothel. So at least I've upgraded to title insurance. So I'd like to invite our guest up on stage. So Chris, Kay, Scott, come have a seat. I'm curious looking around the room. I think this is one of our bigger crowds of the year so far. So I'm excited that you all are here to hear from, some of the living legends of commercial real estate in Las Vegas. We've really got some great people here. So you've heard a little bit about me. I'm going to kind of start at the end. We have Chris Armstrong from Olympia. Chris, would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Chris Armstrong, Olympia. I've been with Olympia about 20 years or so. I don't know if a lot of familiar faces in the room, but I don't know if everybody knows what Olympia does, but primarily master plan community developers. So we developed Southern Highlands, Sky Canyon, Sky Hills, and we've got a couple of other projects in the works now. So exciting stuff.
Some beautiful communities. So
Thank you.
Kudos to what you've done.
Appreciate it.
Scott, who are you?
I just heard there was a free breakfast.
Hi. If you speak, it's free.
Okay, all right. I work for KB Home. I've been there about 11 years. We do top 5 builder in the nation, 1,500 to 2,000 homes the last couple of years. Looking to grow that, but as we'll talk about today, land's a little bit scarce. 3rd generation Nevadan, Las Vegas, Las Vegas actually. And glad to be here.
Awesome. So, show of hands, anybody ever heard the name Kay Roohani before? Yeah? Oh, come on, it's more than that.
There's 10 of them.
So, if some of you don't know Kay Roohani, Kay is absolutely a living legend, the king of land in Las Vegas, as some have called him. Kay, sorry to not ask so specific questions about, Scott and Chris's background, but Kay, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and, when did you come to Las Vegas and how did you get here? And I think it'll be interesting for people to know, too, your educational background and, how you got into land versus, what you were trained in school for.
You already gave my introduction and said whatever you wanted. Well, I'm K. Roohani. I am actually originally from Iran, then Pakistan, did my engineering there. Came to this country for two reasons. It was my father's wish, and I knew Las Vegas needs someone like me to make it great again. So I start. With my degree in construction, I decided to do land because when I did construction, nobody was paying the bills. So I said, let me do easier jobs. So I went into land business, and it was much, much, much easier. And I started from a 2.5-acre parcel to now whatever I can buy. But it was fun, and honestly, it was probably the easiest route to get where I wanted in life. And then sitting next to the man next to me, I don't even have to go too far. Anything I don't like, I can sell it to them, and they build homes on it. So, and also, they buy me lunch for free all the time, so that gets my life going in the right direction. But but more than anything, I'm really excited to see this crowd, and congratulations to you guys. And I think it's because of them. Because last time I was here, I didn't see a crowd this big. So I think the credit goes to Chris and Scott.
I was with you last time.
We were? Yeah. Oh, okay, I don't remember.
It must be Chris.
I'm 75 years old, and sometimes I forget what I said, so.
Well, I mean, I think part of the reason it's not only you guys at the crowds here, but land and development in Southern Nevada has been such a big issue, and, you know, NAIOP's led on that. We've got a land scarcity. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But just for fun, I'd love to have some storytelling. I'd love to kind of know, if you guys wouldn't mind telling me about what you remember from the first time you bought a piece of land. If you could tell us what your first deal was, what you bought, any stories about that deal, or whatever comes to memory about the first few pieces of land you played with.
What a coincidence. In fact, last night I was invited by a friend of mine, Larry Kenrody, for dinner. And at dinner, we were talking about this because when I came in this town, the first person that I really wanted to get to know was Larry Kenrody. And the reason is because it was a private builder. I didn't have to go through corporate guarantee and this and when to close the deal or not close the deal. So it was easier to work with Larry Kenrody. Now, when I went to his office to meet him, I remember he had bought 90-acre parcel by Fort Apache and Cheyenne from Steve Miller. So I had made few calls, he won't respond. But finally, when he responded, he said, what do you like? I said, I want to come see you. So I, like a con artist, I had a briefcase which had nothing in it, with a suit like people here. I don't have one now, but then I walked in his office. He said, what brought you here? I said, honestly, I'm here to buy that 90-acre you just bought. He said, sir, we are not in the business of selling land. We buy land. We build homes. I said, so what can I do for you? He said, if you have land, I'll buy it. So I got up and I said, can I shake your hand? He said, go ahead. I said, I will bring you 80 acres next to this. Would you buy it? He said, yes. So that started my life with Larry. So honestly, like every time I walked in his office, I could smell $1 million before I left. So, and you want to know the truth? I was not even a licensed realtor yet. And in fact, I had Jeff Chain as a broker in my office because I wanted to know the business. But then I went and got my license. But again, now I've given up my license because it's easier to buy and sell and have no liability and make more money. So then I started working with different builders and all. And you know, the advantage of a realtor, any one of you in this here, the best thing to do is to work with a lot of builders, because when you work with one builder, you don't know the market price. But if you work with all of them, you really know what is the next step. And if you guys remember, it was $200,000 an acre or maybe $300,000 an acre residential land. Today is over $1.2 million an acre. And the reason is when you have them compete with each other and all, the prices goes up. People, you know, will buy the land and it's all done. Now, again, The main goal that I had in life, I knew the builders need a bigger parcel. So I would go and assemble properties. When I get that all accomplished, then I go sell it to them. And that's how I got started in Las Vegas.
Amazing. I hope you guys are all soaking this up because this is good stuff right here. Well, Scott, Chris, tell us about your origin story in land.
You told
He
me
doesn't have any origin because I sell him all the land.
you told me you only bring deals to me. Now you're telling me you deal with other builders?
No, I said to get the price and then sell it to you at a higher number.
You're playing me? I got my real estate license right out of high school, and I took my dad's Rolodex. Most of you in here probably don't know what a Rolodex is. There's a few of us that do. And I called every person on his Rolodex from A to Z, and I found a couple guys that wanted to invest in land. And we went to a BLM auction. Again, it was right after high school, so it was 8 or 10 years ago. And we went to the BLM office on Vegas Drive and Decatur. And the room held probably 25, 30 people. And we sat on the front row, and we had our cashier's check from the bank around the corner. And we bought our first parcel, and we complained to high heaven. It was 2.5 acres for $43,500. It was in the Northwest. Even back then, it was a little bit remote. But we divided it into 4 lots and sold the 4 lots. And then we just kept going to those same BLM auctions and buying until, land got a little bit expensive. But it was really good for me because, historically, my family was always in construction, mostly horizontal construction. And so to develop those lots was really good. And I'm still doing the exact same thing today with KB Home. We buy, a parcel from K, and we subdivide it and develop it. We pay a little bit more than $43,000 for 2.5 acres with K. But that's how I got my start, and I think it was a good story. And those same investors are still, my friends today and investors.
Can we do a fact check?
Absolutely.
He's a high school dropout. He didn't finish his high school. But he's a smart guy in the business. And that's why I love him and I do my business with him. So
I said I barely graduated high school, Kay. I didn't say I dropped out. Jennifer back there can verify that I walked with her when we graduated.
Chris?
Definitely a couple of tough acts to follow, right? I think I may just sort of walk off the stage and watch these guys and sit from the front seat here, but maybe not the first land transaction, but I think just one thing that, there's everybody obviously talks about all the positives on land deals, and Kay, I know you've got a couple too that are, pre-recession that sort of, you still struggle with, right? So one of the things that I can remember at Olympia, and it's probably, and of course, Larry Canarelli, who's a legend, right? Larry's a big partner of ours with Gary Goet and Guy Anzalacco, our ownership group. So we purchased 2,700 acres in the city of North Las Vegas, and I see Councilman Churchio over here, and this was 2000, again, a BLM auction, 2005 to 2006, and that was 2,700 acres, and it was $639 million, right? And it was one of those ones leading into the recession, big chunk of change. We had a number of builder partners with us who went in on that deal, but that one, unfortunately, and not a great story, but unfortunately we lost that one in the recession. But so there's a lot of good stuff that happens, but also I think the point that I'm making is there's also a lot of risk involved, right? And so these guys have been through it all, and it's it all sort of comes out in the end, we hope. But also there's the land deals, there's ups and downs to it for sure.
So, you guys kind of touched on some of this of what pricing used to be back in the day and, the BLM auctions of previous years. But, the Las Vegas Review-Journal has reported that there's 8 years of land, developable land left. NAIOP has been trying to lead on this issue with our congressional delegation in the county and trying to get some movement on the lands bill. But in general, from your seats in the industry, what's your take on land scarcity at the moment?
Can I first finish what I want to fact check on that one?
Absolutely, yeah.
When you asked me the previous question, also beside Larry Canarelli, if anyone in Las Vegas that I got to know was his boss or his work, what you call Gary, the boss or Olympic owner or
whatever
Olympic,
you like.
whatever. Gary was here with connection with the BLM. but the guy in Shalaka, they came in Las Vegas, and I got lucky to get to know them. So I took him to Randy Black's office first. I said, Randy, I don't have the kind of money they want to do this VLM deals. Do you? He said, let's meet him. So they went and checked Gary's account, and it was only $1,600 in it. So they said they don't want to work with him. I said, okay. I said, I think they made a big mistake because Gary had the right connection to BLM, and he had all the properties that we needed in this town. So I introduced him to Larry and a few other people, and he gave me the title of Mr. Houdini because I did a lot of his thing with him till he got finally tired of me and he went on his way. So between you and me, Gary did very well. He did Southern Highland, this, that, and things like that. But I was waiting to see how these people they do all these things till I find out, yeah, they borrow a lot of money, which I don't. So I was waiting for all these things to maybe one day fall apart, and I go buy it. So on Las Vegas Boulevard, they had all those frontage that went in the, almost bankruptcy thing. So we went and bought it, and there were some other properties that was in the north and things like that. So, and now looking for your question that you asked, what is happening in Las Vegas and things like that. Last time I was sitting here, everybody was worried about the Lake Las Vegas. There is no water. What are we going to do? You remember I said, let's pray that it rains more. So it rained more, there is water, and the houses are building more than ever. And I personally, not as a broker, but as someone who has been in this business long, I can tell you, I don't care who becomes the president, who becomes the vice president, nothing can stop Las Vegas from growing. I'm not talking about any other states, only Las Vegas. In fact, they have enough room to develop from Mandalay Bay to San Rose Parkway. Everything will develop sooner than we all can even think of. Now, in the north, Cal Canyon is the next one, and Apex is I'm in fact bashful to say, I bought Apex 900 acres for $3,500 an acre. Today is worth $300,000 an acre. So it's a very big thing for industrial market that took over this town. And God bless Amazon.
Well,
and UPS.
And UPS. Just kind of a follow-up question to a little bit of what you guys were all talking about, going off of kind of our questions, but how much of this business is pure smarts versus luck in your careers? Right place, right time for all of you.
You want to answer that question? Because my English is not very good. Maybe you can answer it.
Your English is not very good? Huh? Your English is not very good?
No, I honestly don't know exactly what.
Well, I think that, being lucky is always helpful, but my dad used to say it this way: it's funny how the luckiest people are always the hardest workers. And I believe that. I think that the harder you work, the more opportunity you have to get lucky. And the people in my office that are lucky, they tend to be there early and work late and work hard. And I think that's true in all aspects of life, especially in land. You will never be lucky buying a piece of land if you're not out, farming that land and finding, talking to buyers and having lunches and having dinners and going to, football games and baseball. The guys, he's so lucky he's playing golf, 3 days a week or 2 days a week. If I had my brothers, I would rather be playing golf with my kids and my grandkids. But I play golf with landowners, with land developers, with, politicians, with attorneys, with people that I enjoy playing golf with. But I would prefer, to play golf with my family. But I play with those because the more you're out there, the more lucky you are. And if they call you lucky, that just means you're a hard worker. That's my opinion.
Fact check. Fact check. First of all, you guys have noticed anything he cannot answer the question, he goes to his father. what his father told him to do or what to say. And as a golf, he's not a good golfer. He thinks he is, but the fact remains is he's a good grandpa. He takes all his grandkids and everything on a big boat that he bought, and I am very proud of man for that reason. But don't bring golf in the picture. You're not a golfer.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I played.
Good.
I think maybe, you were talking previously just about land supply in the
Yeah.
8 to 10 years, right? And sort of maybe go back to that a little bit. And I think, we could feel, and I'm sure that these guys, kind of echo some of those thoughts, just the land constraints that exist today. And if there's not more land that obviously, gets released and, there's some sort of solution to the legislation, right, the pending legislation. Because some of the land that's still out there is very difficult to service. We're working on a larger project right now, about 500 acres, and it's got no water, it's got no power, right? There's no utilities there at all. So some of these acreages that you say are available within 6 to 8 years, I think, the availability of a lot of the land within that period is actually very difficult to develop. So I think that it's actually smaller, right? And I think we may be more constrained than just that, that 6 to 8 year period. So I'm a proponent of getting as much land out there as soon as possible so that Kay can buy some and, sell some to KB, so.
Well, just to piggyback on that, thanks, Chris. The Inspirata is sold out. Last home closes end of next year. That's it. There's no more. Summerlin, if Rachel was here, we had breakfast the other morning, and they have 3,000 acres left. 1,500 of that is earmarked for residential. That's, 7 to 10 years max, and that's in Summerlin. Tule Springs is probably one of the only master plans that remains. There's only 455 acres remaining there. You could walk through the master plan. Southern Highlands is sold out. It's these 500 acres and then
We have a custom lot for Kay, though, and for you if you like.
There's always a lot for you, Kay. We always have a lot for Kay.
No, and they finally realize what they're saying is right. They are finished with their product. They don't have any land to buy. In the last BLM auction, it was Scott Gregson and Vinnie Shedler. They were fell asleep during the thing. They were talking. So I bought the 105 acres south of M for $10 million. Today is worth $300 million. So if they wanted, they could have done the same thing. But I think maybe there are sometimes people fall asleep or they don't know the value of land. So I'm just telling you that's how I get in front of them and I buy them. And then go sell it to them for 200 times more than they could pay.
So,
And people think, honestly, KB Home is made from 2 words, K, which is me, and B is Bleazard, his last name. But actually, that's not the reason. Just because I sell him a lot of land,
so now you know the namesake of KB Homes. So guys, with all that you just have described, where is land pricing today? In general, what are you seeing with land pricing given the scarcity and all the pressures on it?
That under oath, I can assure you, there is no one till this day sitting in this chair has sold land at more higher price than K. Roohani. You know why? Because I know when they need this land. So that's the reason that I get ahead of the market. So, But the prices today for apartment, the last apartment deal I sold was $2 million an acre. The last residential land, $1,375,000 an acre. So.
Okay. And I would note just from the title perspective and transactional perspective, since interest rates went up, we've definitely seen the industrial developers, the multifamily developers slow down, and they're having trouble getting their arms around what that pricing is. It doesn't seem like the pricing is moving down. If anything, it's maybe going up. So we're not seeing that. We are seeing the home builders be very active, obviously. So Scott, Chris, what's your take on pricing?
They don't know anything about industrial. What are you talking about?
You go to Kay and ask the pricing, and he tells you what it is, and
Yeah.
that's how you price it?
K on speed dial, right? Yeah, like I think Kay's obviously in the ballpark, right? We generally focus on, master plan communities, sort of, out in the, the suburban areas. But I think one of the things that, we kind of reiterate as we go through some of the things that have an impact, I think, on land pricing is just sometimes, the amount of time that it takes to get through, the system, right? So we purchased, the last 500 acres we purchased was the BLM auction last November. We'd nominated that 3+ years ago, had been working on it, really understood from an engineering and design perspective and sort of a utility perspective what that parcel was. Auction closed in November. We don't expect to get, entitlements until probably the end of January, I think, is when we're looking right now, and then builder closings, at the beginning of the, second quarter of 2025. So that, in that time period, obviously it costs us a lot of money carrying that, and then there's, so the time is a big consideration. So anything that we can do, and some agencies and organizations and municipalities are better than others, but some are a struggle, and I think, it'd be good to look at solutions to try to move that along, because, everybody's looking at the affordable housing issue that we have in the valley, and the time that takes all impacts affordability. So I think, working with the jurisdictions to try to, close that gap a little bit, I think is really important to getting, product out to market, right?
Yeah, fact check.
You stole the words out of my mouth.
But the one thing they don't want to say is that they did buy it, but because of the everything that's happening in city of Las Vegas, they all complain about Nancy Bruni because she's not in pro-development, and they only wants 2 units to an acre, and this country is based in affordable homes, to be honest, because everybody has to start from somewhere. But me personally love Nancy Bruni, and she's never done me or anything I put in front of her. I've never been rejected. So we'll see what direction it goes. But otherwise, in that area is the best 500 acres that they bought, and they were lucky I stayed out of that deal. So they got lucky, but that's how life is.
Well, I want to hear more about the challenges that you guys face in terms of municipalities and zoning and planning and development in general. But, since you mentioned it, Chris, I don't know if there's any news to break on your plan up there, the 500 acres, but can you share a little bit about kind of the vision that you guys have for that master plan community?
For sure. So it's, I don't know if everybody knows where it is, but it's 500 acres in the northwest, immediately west of Sky Hills, which is a 300-acre project we purchased, and then west of Providence as well. So at 215, there's going to be an outer beltway road, sort of an outer beltway, major arterial more than anything else, but Sheep Mountain Parkway.
Centennial and Schaumburg.
Yep, exactly. So our plans are, we're done a lot of design work through the city of Las Vegas. We plan on getting our full entitlements around January or so, and then working with the builders to close, like I said, in the end of the first quarter, second quarter. It'll be a 3,500 acre master plan. We'll work with all our builders to get a full range of product types. So we really try to work on a good product segmentation so that we haven't got all the builders following over one another, right? And also important component of that will be the commercial. The commercial we developed Southern Highlands, Sky Canyon. We really try to right size that commercial based on the unit count that's out there. We take a look at the other commercial that's out in the area, right, and figure out exactly how much commercial we need and that's, we'll probably be a fairly small, we're probably about 10 acres of commercial that we feel is necessary to service that area. And we'll do predominantly a little retail center, right, that, like I said, we typically, build and manage our own retail stuff. So that's the 500 acres, and like I said, we've got right adjacent to the Red Rock National Conservation boundary, not really close to Red Rock, but next to the boundary of the property. So we're going to link together. There's the city of Las Vegas is working on a big park with some trails that'll connect there, and we'll have trails throughout our community. So goal is to have another beautiful master plan community.
Building any office up there?
So we don't have any office planned, right? But it's sort of difficult in suburban office space. We've got an office building in Southern Highlands, about 60,000 square feet or so, and it works, Gary, our owner, obviously wanted an office close to his house, and we built the office building for that, but, it's difficult sometimes to get an office in suburban areas, right, that's not on, major arterials or, connections, so.
Any fact checking?
Yeah. So we're under contract with Kay on a piece of that number. We haven't closed yet. We're looking at a retrade just prior to closing, so it might not be quite that much. But the best example is Chris. Like, what did you pay for that 500 acres? It's public. I don't think that's
Yeah.
a secret.
Yeah, so it's 55 acres. It was around,
500
acres. It was around,
100,000 an acre.
yeah.
So 100,000 an acre, 1.385. I'm telling you, they paid a lot of money. How many bidders in that auction?
There was 0 bidders.
He was the only bidder. So how can he pay 100,000 an acre for that? He's going to spend really close to, 600,000 an acre probably to get that thing to market. And it'll be a win for them for sure, but it has a tremendous amount of headwinds, and that's the kind of deals that are out there. 10 years ago, nobody would have looked at that piece. They would have just flushed it. The dollar to first delivery on that deal is staggering what it's going to cost to get that thing to the very first home delivery. So for me, it's finished lots. I've paid $1.4 million in Summerlin for an acre. It's a super pad. They do the streets, they stub the utilities, it's all there. So a builder can pay, our model is based on a finished lot. We have to take it all the way to finished lot. So Chris takes out all the brain damage at this community in Southern Highlands and all of the communities that Olympia has built. They provide us with a finished pad, in some cases maybe even a tentative or final map. So they provide all that value to builders. We're so risk adverse that the closer it is to a finished lot, the better it is. Kay buys land that may or may not be entitled, and then he works it through the system to get it entitled and delivers it to us. So builders can pay specifically per lot whatever they can sell the house for backed into that land residual. And the higher the sales price, the higher the land residual can be, but the development costs become a huge factor. But the thing that everyone in this room should come out of here today thinking is, why am I in industrial? Why am I in office? Why am I in commercial? I should be calling Scott and selling my commercial, industrial, and office land because he's paying more than any of your guys can pay right now. Those office guys can't pay what I can pay. The industrial guys can't pay what I can pay. It all comes back to entitlement, right? So if you have a parcel that you can convert from its existing zoning to a residential use, you're going to get more money for it right now. Home builders can pay more than anybody else right now. Our demand is far greater than all the office demand. Industrial, I don't want to get into that section, but our demand is incredible in Las Vegas. What Kay describes is 100% true. The demand is so great. We're used to pulling 10 to 14,000 permits a year in Las Vegas. We don't have that much land left. It's 6 to 8 years, as they described, if we pull 10,000 permits a year. So the demand is driving the price of houses, which is driving the price of land, and it's driving Olympia to go and buy a land that needs a $30 million water infrastructure, right?
$60 million.
$60 million with both of them, right?
Yeah,
So
and offsite, right? Like, so it's, I think Scott's, bringing out some really, I think relevant points just on the complexity of what's involved in developing some of this land, right? So we've got a massive amount of water infrastructure that we've got to build, offsite tanks that we need to get, and then you have to get offsite easements through the BLM, right? Which is an act of Congress in itself to work through, that process. So and then we've got, massive drainage facilities that exist on the property right now, drainage easements that are on the property. So, obviously we identified those risks earlier on, and we've been working on this parcel for 3 years. And you're right, there was nobody else, nobody else who came to bid on the parcel. Nobody else has studied the parcel like we've done over the years. But so there's risk involved. There's obviously the upside, or we wouldn't be in the building. But I think what Scott was saying, there's different levels of where people will buy, and we try to provide essentially not finished lots, but finished super pads, right, to our builders, so that all those risks are really minimized. We take the risk on the front end. Like I was talking, sort of circling back to the story on the front end of that, and it's sort of, just that there's risks involved, and on that, the North Las Vegas piece, that was $639 million gone, right? So there's definitely upsides, but, you know, downsides as well, but.
There's a risk.
Yeah, I appreciate Scott kind of identifying all that.
Fact check.
Okay.
Fact check. First of all, everyone in my family is wondering how come I am the only one who's got still hair and none of them do. And the reason I thought is because they are married and I'm single. but I realized they don't understand what the reason is. The reason is, like, these fellows and their bosses, they go and buy properties which has a lot of challenges, a lot of ifs and buts, and more than anything, they have what I don't have. They have the connection, which I don't have. So what happens is, if something goes wrong, they look for the government, federal government, tax credit, whatever, or the city maybe come in and do all the development and put a SID on the property. But I go the easy route. I go buy a simple piece of property with no challenges, sell it to him, let him do his own headache and challenges, and then build homes on it. That is the only difference here. And that is true, that 500 acres has got a lot of challenges, and by the time they get to if they don't get any credit from the city or the federal government or whatever, it honestly may end up to be $700,000 an acre, which he has to pay $1 million an acre. But $1 million an acre in the north versus $1,350,000 in the south, $1,350,000 is much better deal than that. The houses are selling better here.
Very
Am I right
important
or
fact
wrong?
check on Kay here. No money whatsoever coming from the federal government or local governments.
I've never got any money from the federal government.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
Fact
Any
check-
home I've ever
fact
built,
checks.
period. Period.
Fact checks. All these projects that you guys are saying, and I can tell you this, and I don't want to be conceited, no one has more properties on Las Vegas Boulevard than I do. And every one of them, they come like NBA, like movies, like sports. All of them, they look up to the county to see if they can get tax credit before they do the deal. And today, I can assure you, none of them has happened yet. So don't think it will happen tomorrow. How about that? Fact check.
So, Scott, one thing I want to follow up with you on is, you know, the affordable, it's mentioned affordable housing, attainable housing, all that sort of stuff. The average person in our market, I don't think knows what goes into building a home soup to nuts. So can you kind of share a little bit about what did construction costs in land basis look like pre-COVID or even 10 years ago versus today? Where are we at? How does that factor into ultimately what you can pay and what the consumer's paying?
So I looked that up actually when you asked that question earlier, Owen. 10 years ago, 2014, August of 2014, I closed on 50 acres on Flamingo and 215, San Severo. We paid $500,000 an acre, and our most popular plan in that community is like 2,469 square feet, 2,500 square feet. We sell more of it than any other house in the valley. The 2,469 built slab to landscape move-in around $100,000. That's what it cost us to build that house in 2014. Today, the last deal I looked at was one I bought from Kay. I paid $1 million an acre and closed on $1 million an acre, and that 2,469 cost $168,000. So land was a 50% increase, and construction cost was, 40-50% increase as well. So affordability, we don't even use the word affordability at KB because so many people will fact check you and say that's wrong. There's no such thing as affordability in Las Vegas. Your horizontal and vertical cost puts you in a position where somebody that makes the median income cannot afford the house, period. That's no land cost. That's just land development and vertical cost, and any profit on that can't qualify for that. So there are programs, but there's no quote-unquote affordable housing being built in Las Vegas, period, for sale. Nevada Hand, Ovation, the Molaskis, those guys are doing for rent affordability, where there's government subsidy on those rents. They guarantee those rents, and they can do it. But there's this, affordability on a federal level is looked at as 20% greater or less than median household income. And that right now will buy $285,000. And you can't do horizontal and vertical construction for that. It's just, there's a piece in the city of Henderson, they're selling for $1 an acre. If you build affordable housing, you have to build 80% of it affordable, which is 20% less than median income or up to median income. And then you can build 20% of your houses at retail. You can't do it. You lose so much money selling the 80%. And I love the rhetoric and the talk, but there's nobody walking the walk. It's just not happening. And I'll challenge anybody to that, because it doesn't work. At land at zero, it doesn't work.
Well, and I think it's important, too, that this issue be out there and people know about it, because things get built because capital is flowing there. And if you don't have a capital structure that allows money to flow there, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
And furthermore, I think our public policy makers should know, too, that you can't, penalize people by doing rent control and that sort of thing, because that will dry up capital, too. So the public policy makers out there need to really incentivize things almost to a fault to make it work if they really want to change the dynamic on that issue. But it's not going to happen by making zoning and planning longer. It's not going to happen by saying 80%, that sort of thing. So we are getting kind of close on time. I did want to throw out to you guys, since we brought that up, what are some of the public policy challenges, municipality challenges that you're facing at this present time?
Well, Tiffany's here, so I have to be careful. But when we are in front of city council, county commission, any of the jurisdictions, and they're essentially saying, we'd like you to build more affordable housing. Oh, but we don't want you to build attached. You have to build, detached homes. Okay, well, we want a 35 by 100. Oh, no. You're not building a 35 by 100 in my district. You're going to build 40 by 100. Tiffany's previous boss wrote it on the back of his card, drew a little birdie finger. I put it on my thing, 4,000 foot lots minimum. So when you have these minimums, you start to just run, not walk, run away from the ability to afford housing. And I get it. You're elected by your constituents, and your constituents are saying, not in my backyard. I don't care if they build it in the south. I don't care if they build it in the north, but you're not building attached in my neighborhood. You can't build attached in my neighborhood. Of course we support affordable housing. Yes, we want affordable housing, but not in my backyard. Build it somewhere else. Well, how about, Pahrump? Well, those affordable people, those people that can afford affordable housing have to be able to drive back and forth to those communities, and they'll pay less to go to those communities, and we're looking at those outlying communities. But there has to be some walk with the walk. They need to say to their constituents, listen, in order to have affordable housing, it's going to be in your backyard. One politician once said to me when I was in for approval on 35 by 100 lots, he said, you should be ashamed of yourself for building 3,500 square foot lots like this and building these houses, these cracker boxes, was his terms, not mine. And I said, I'm very proud of those homes. I have 3 children that live in a 35 by 100 house that bought 2,469 square feet because that's all they could afford at the time, after their dad helped them with a pretty significant down payment, after all of that. So I'm very proud to build those homes. My children are good neighbors. They're not bad neighbors. These attached living people are young professionals that are single. They're roommates. They do everything they can to qualify for these homes. To me, that is the racism in the country. They're saying that these people don't deserve housing, and it's just wrong. And it's a aircraft carrier that is impossible to move, because they get elected by people that expect them to improve their property values, and their perception of improving their property values is not building more dense product behind them. So that's my take.
Fact check.
So Kay has a quick fact check,
It
and
is a
then,
fact.
yeah, and I would just say as an aside, I wish we usually do 45 minutes. I wish we could have these guys for
No-
2
no
hours
problem.
because there's
I'll
so
make
much gold here. But fact check, and then we'll start getting some questions from the audience.
Where's my mic? Okay. First of all, for the first time, your second part was absolutely checked out 100%.
Thank you.
The first part was not. But anyways, everybody wants to know, have affordable homes. You know, because of affordable homes, I honestly have gone through so much pain in my life. The neighborhood made a neighborhood app saying, who is this Mr. Roohani? He's come in this country to ruin all the RMP and everything else because they want to have like 2,000 square feet, but 20,000 square feet land around them, but nobody else should be there. I mean, this is the racism that he says. That is true. Because honestly, they have to give a reason why affordable home cannot be in this country. But again, affordable homes means also KB Home, when I sell them a piece of land, they say the profit margin is 20%. If they cut that 20% to 0% for 1 or 2 years, this country will be in a much better place. But honestly, and they should be able to do it because they stay in business, but they buy land and things like that. Now, honestly, one time I remember I was in the town board. I had no business to be there. I was just watching the audience and all. And I say, some lady says, they were building next to Silverton Hotel, another tower. And this lady comes and says, you know, guys, you won't believe this. If I spit, it will hit their window from my window. So I got up and I said, honey, don't spit and everything will be solved.
Yeah.
They tried to ask me, where are you from? Who brought you here? Do you have a green card, citizen or not? I had Tiffany from the county to walk me to my car, make sure they don't shoot me. That I mean, so honestly, the commissioners these days, Justin Jones and Michael Naft in the area of Southwest, they have done a good job. Honestly, they have let us get away with some of the things that can make houses more affordable. And that's the one thing we need in this town, honestly. And otherwise, and the interest rate, not the time of the election. They should have lowered it probably more and more. And now I hope they do another one before the election. I think some of your problem will get solved. So
interest rates are
KB
obviously
Home is a good guy, though. They give the mortgage themselves, so they don't let some of the people go to the bank. So that's how they can sell their homes even faster. So God bless KB Home.
I'll propose the 0% return. See how that goes.
Would you, next panel, report back on how that goes
I will.
over, if you don't mind. So I'm going to kick it over to Dan, but can I get a quick round of applause for these guys?
One.
Okay, one. Hopefully he's not going to fact check me on the round of applause.
It's not a fact check or nothing. I have been in this NAIOP before, but honestly, this audience is so big, I'm really impressed. Is there any kind of compensation for me or any one of us?
Free breakfast.
So I'm gonna fact check my friend
Yeah.
Kay Roohani of 30 years, but he just came clean. He gave Scott and Chris a lot of credit for the audience and the crowd, but privately he said he wanted a cut of the gate. Thank you all. One of the questions out of the gates was the rate cut. Do you have anything more to say about them, Scott, Chris?
Well, our stock, hit an all-year high the day of the reduction, the rate reduction, and it goes a long ways to affordable housing. And every time a interest rate drops a half a point, there's another 3% of the people that now qualify for a home, for a KB home. So all of our salespeople called all the people that were just on the cusp of qualifying and not, and now they qualify. And if we drop it again, it's just going to continue to roll. I mean, it's a two-edged sword for me because when rates get low enough, then you're going to see apartment guys back in the market and they're going to start competing with me against, buying land. They can't compete now because they can't develop it and build and rent and have any kind of return because the rates are so high. But as they start to drop, there will be more competition in the land market.
And to Scott's point, I mean, there's kind of a three-legged stool here. It's land pricing, it's construction pricing, and it's interest rates, and we need more than one to drop. So I think it's going to take construction costs and land costs, or dramatic interest rate costs and dramatic construction costs to really change the dynamic from where we're at this moment today.
Chris, do rates help your company?
Yeah, of course. I think, because obviously it all, we sell land, right? Our main core business is to sell land to our home builders. So, if they're buying, then that helps us out for sure, 100%.
One of the questions, it was a little longer, but very simple, is would you rather, everyone would rather be K, but would you rather sell land, go through all the headaches and the headwinds, or would you rather build a house and sell it to a consumer? Who makes the most money was the question. We all know K makes the most money. But
We're carving him out of that question?
yes,
Is that what you're saying?
K's out.
Well, we all have huge risks. If we go through a cycle, let's just call it a cycle, like the 5, 6, 7, 8 cycle, Chris is going to be in a bad situation on that 500 acres if it hits before he sells those parcels. But yet if the cycle hits once we own the land and we start building and selling houses, our risk is exponential because we paid retail for the land, we're paying retail for that. Cost of capital in any world is expensive. Us paying $1 million an acre at a 10% cost of capital, just to use easy math, because I'm barely graduated high school, I didn't know I dropped out. But it is $1 million, $1 million is $100,000 a year. So that $1 million land price went to $1.1 million if I have to hold it a year to wait through a cycle. So I think the risk is pretty much commensurate with the, expense or where you're at. But I think we're 6s. There's not a lot of public people or builders that do large parcels like, Chris does. It's not that common.
Why is it just the land guy or the home builder? Nobody wants to be a Fortune 350 title company?
Chris, there was a question about your acreage next to the Paiute Golf Course, the status of it, the timing.
Yeah, so we've got roughly 1,000 acres, right, that's immediately adjacent to the Tule Springs National Monument, north of Sunstone and adjacent to the Paiute Reservation. So we're tied up on an appeal on our appraisal, and the lands bill hopefully will resolve some issues related to that, and we'll be able to move forward. So we're optimistic that by the end of this year, we should be able to start moving forward with entitlements on that project.
They appraised it too low, and you don't want to take advantage, right?
The appraisal is good. I think it was just, it's a complicated situation.
I would like to thank the RJ for being here today. There was a question, Kay, you touched on it, on rural neighborhood preservation. There's a lot of that land. There's septic issues, water issues. What do you see the future of all of that land in the valley?
Honestly, I'm shocked, like whoever designed it, because when I went to school, my major thing was planning. And when I came here, I see on Las Vegas Boulevard, for example, they have RMP right behind gaming, which does not make sense at all. I have had a piece of property like for almost 12 years on Erie and Gillespie. I could not get it zoned. Neighbors won't even let me go from 2 units to 3 units, which gives the same value of the house or even more. The fact is that they are so out of everything. They just think nobody else should live in this around them except who they are. That's it. But they are parking all the 18-wheelers, all the garbage, everything. The county doesn't stop them. Like if I have 3 cars with different no license plates next to my house, they will probably arrest me. But they have like 200 next to their house. Nobody says anything. So it seems like as if they own this country. They don't want anything else to be built next to them.
In a while back, neighborhood casinos kind of had a NIMBY reputation. Everyone went, but not in my backyard. Do the Stations casinos, the Inspirada and the Sky Canyon coming online, do they actually a benefit to your future home buyers in neighborhoods?
I don't think so. I honestly don't think it hurts them at all. It's just a fact that's set in their mind, and they never paid much for those lands. And if they sell their homes today, they can make fortune. But they just don't look at it that way. They think they want to have a relaxed, laid-back life like in Spain. If you go there in the train, everybody's sleeping. So the same thing. It just doesn't make sense.
Yes, but to...
Like on Blue Diamond, the same thing. On both sides, RMP. How could you have a 300-feet highway with RMP behind it? It just doesn't make sense.
Yes, Kate. And so to continue on that, do home buyers want to be close to a casino, Chris? Are they happy in Sky Canyon knowing
so in-
Station Casinos is going to be there?
You know, I know in Inspirada, obviously Stations is in Inspirada. We've got, you know, we sold parcel up in Sky Canyon to Stations. I personally think, and obviously others have different opinions, but, you know, generally by the time they're around there, there's enough rooftops to support them, and they, you know, provide, obviously for the municipalities, good, you know, tax base, and then provide services for the residents, right? I think most people, they don't want to be right next door to it, but, you know, if you're a half mile, 3/4 a mile away from a casino, I can go see a movie on a Friday afternoon or whatever it is, right? I think, you know, people definitely enjoy, you know, those amenities.
Owen, take us home with the crystal ball.
All right. So, you know, I just love doing this on panels, but crystal ball time. What do you guys see going forward in the next year? Fortunately, we got a rate cut yesterday. What do you think about commercial real estate into the next year or 5 years?
Commercial or residential?
Well, we're a commercial real estate organization, but for our overall market, where do you see?
You told me you're a residential.
Well, when I'm talking to you, Scott.
So it's different when you talk to others?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Who is questioning
I'm commercial
me
to
right
these people. I'm your land title company to you.
Okay. As I said, honestly, if they leave me alone, don't bother me. I can make Las Vegas, not Nevada, Las Vegas, the greatest place in this world. The fact remains is, honestly, it's got all the things we need, all the casinos, all the things to keep people coming in this town. And I really don't feel anything can stop it. In fact, there was a deal on Las Vegas Boulevard and Star. Recently, it went to bid. An Australian group owned it here. There was a lot of bids, and somebody shopped my bid. But I finally became partner with the guy who got it because I believe in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I think Las Vegas Boulevard with commercial, with gaming, and all will stay with sports and things coming there. I don't think anything can stop it. I just came back from Dubai. Honestly, this got potential to be a Dubai. And they copied us. So why can't we now go along and build something that's in that country? If you go to Shanghai, see the kind of things they're building is just beyond. And we can do it here. You know how we can do it? All these politicians now spend money on all these campaign things that happening in this town, signs on the property, pay things like that. They save all that money, there will be no homeless in this country. There will be no problem in this country. I swear this will be the best country in the world. But you know, it's all politics. It's all things that, you know, they don't want anybody to do the right thing. You know, that's it.
Roohani for mayor.
I came in this country because honestly, I thought maybe this is it. And I'm not going to lie to you. When I see these wars and pager thing that started, I was scared sitting here. Somebody, I may get killed because they can hack your phone. They can
I'm
hack
scared sitting
pictures
next to
and
you.
everything, you know? Huh?
I'm scared sitting next to you.
Yeah. So all of this. But, and one advice to the audience, this is from my heart. A friend of mine just died at the age of 73, Ronaldo Tibudi. I hope all of you know him. God bless his soul. I was at his funeral, but I never forget in my life. my family always taught me, if you learn something from somewhere, always be grateful to that person. The man who told me, never borrow money, and I swear to God, this man had, maybe he was a mathematician or whatever he got, he could calculate things faster than even a computer. So he told me, "Kay, let's not borrow money on a deal." From that day, I never borrowed money, and today I'm safe and sound. I can go to sleep at night not thinking I owe anybody money. And a lot of people, including the guy sitting on my left, they borrowed money and they got hurt. So between you and me, my advice is, please never borrow money in any real estate, anything. Try to buy it outright and be safe and sound. God bless America.
Tell your clients cash-on-cash returns do not matter.
Yeah.
That it's
Interest
only
rates don't matter either.
Interest rates do not matter.
Yeah.
Just pay cash and it's no problem. I see the market for the next year kind of how it's been. We have laundry lists of people, to buy our houses. It's really an affordability issue. We're trying to do rates. As they go down, I think we're going to sell plenty of houses. It's not now. It's in the next 3 to 5 years when we're going to start to see changes. We're looking at infill parcels now, tearing down Kmart's, tearing down, office buildings that have, had a good 100-year run or 50-year run, whatever it is. And I think that you're going to see more and more of that happen. But right now, there's enough runway for the, if your crystal ball is a year, nothing's going to change, I don't think, in the next year. We'll see interest rates go down and people be able to afford more house, and the housing market will be good. Commercial, I can't tell you,
You don't know nothing about it.
I was going to say my dad, but Kay will fact check me. So it was during a CCIM class that I took, and they talked about the cycle of real estate, right? You need rooftops first. Once you get the rooftops, you have the neighborhood commercial to support the rooftops, and then you need the industrial to support the industrial people, and then you get the office to support those balances. And so that cycle just goes. Right now, there's a lot of areas of town. Well, COVID changed all that. Right now, they're working from home. We have people in our office working from home. So to forecast office, to me, is a near impossibility. The rooftops are going to be there, but I don't know what commercial and rooftops are going to do. I honestly don't. I think that with Apex going like it's going and business to home, the last time I was in a store to buy something, it's been a while. I order it in the morning at work and I get home and it's at my doorstep. So I don't know how that's going to go.
Don't worry, I'll come to your office and teach you about commercial.
Okay.
Can I have a fact check on this, just one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with him. The market is slowed down just a little bit because of election. He won't tell you. Secondly, he's got 3 offers on his desk to write to me. He's delaying it because he wants to see the market. And in his speech, he said he's trying to retrade one of my properties that he will never be able to. So God bless Kevin.
Thank you.
Did you say God bless KB Home? Was that what you said then?
No, God bless you.
Chris, real quick,
one of the things,
what's your
I
prediction?
think, if there's, talking off of what Scott, I think it was started off talking about with commercial, right? Obviously important to have the right amount of commercial. One of the things we're seeing is, I think there's some concern from some of the municipalities on losing commercial land, which, you don't want to lose all of it, but I think there's got to be some discussions around what is the right amount, and I think, policies that are being set by, different agencies to limit the amount of commercial being rezoned to residential. I think there needs to be a broader discussion around that.
Well, brief prediction, UNLV football to the college football playoffs this year. Brief. Thank you guys so much. I could do this for hours. You guys were awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me here, NAIOP. Appreciate it.
Hey, take some.
I would just like to say, though, if you are feeling generous, we can help. I mean, we have President Circle sponsorships and other opportunities. But we are a volunteer-led organization, and it is the feet of many that make a room this big. So thank you for noticing it. And I think what you said, Scott, is very true, that luck comes to those that work hard, and that's also a testament to this organization. And why, I agree with you, maybe people are scared of office, but to me, you're not in the office to be seen. I think luck is going to be less and less. So, I'm in the office every day, and I love being in the office and around people because this is a relationship-based industry. And I would also say, Kay, I think we already do live in the greatest city in the world and the best industry, too. So Thank you, and thank you, Chris, for your insight. This was a great panel this morning. Thank you to Carpenter Sellers, Gatto Architects for your sponsorship. And next month is our last 2024 breakfast program. So Tedlin should be announcing it soon, but if you have any ideas of anything great you'd like to see, maybe K Part 2 or something, let us know. But October 17th will be our last panel. Please stay up here for a photo real quick, and have a great day. Till then, be safe.